So Reggie Miller remains the three-point king for at least another couple days, and the king is with us here on Game Time. Reggie, as the guy who set the standard, explain just how difficult that mountain is to climb.
Does that mean I'm going to have to give my crown actually away, or will there actually be another crown made so both of us can wear them?
I think new crown.
Wow.
There'll be a ceremony
well,
and a new crown.
I'm taking off the jewels and the diamonds off this one, and he can have it.
Well, Reggie, I kind of know the feeling you're going through right now because Ray Allen broke my single-season three-point record. But the question is, do you feel okay with it because it is Ray Allen, he is the shooter that he is?
Look, all records are made to be broken. A lot of people will say, you know, aren't you a little upset or hurt? Absolutely not. You know, I'm glad we're focusing, and I'm glad you guys, you know, you have Brent and 3D, guys that can appreciate hard work, staying in the gym, working on their three-point shot, and had a wonderful NBA career, both of you guys did. You guys can appreciate how much time and effort it takes for guys to get to this level. We're talking about arguably one of the greatest shooters ever in Ray Allen, and we're talking about shooting, guys, which is great. No crossovers, no fancy dunks, shooting. Both of you guys can appreciate that.
Yeah, Reggie, I think that's a great point. And I love how Dennis got his record into this conversation somehow. Selfish. and I think that's kind of part of it. You kind of have to be, in the sense that you got to be selfish with the time that you spend in the gym. And I just want to ask you about all the other things that go into becoming a great three-point shooter. It's not just the practice. Of course, you know, Reggie, it was so difficult to defend you and the way you moved around the floor and the way you found openings, you know, at all angles from the three-point line. Is that something that you really do appreciate about Ray's game as well? Not
only that, but, you know, the guy showing up 3 to 4 hours before tip, he stays late after practice to get his shots in. You know, these are things that people really don't see. You know, the common person does not get a chance to witness. You know, us knowing the game as well as we do, we get a chance to see how well Ray prepares before games and so forth. So, you know, I hope there are young kids out there that are watching, you know, our network and our ESPN or whatever it may be, and, you know, they're looking, you know, obviously they're going to see, you know, when the record goes down, but people have to understand how long and how hard Ray took this path to get to this record. You know, the time in the gym, you know, staying late. That's what I appreciate about it. So that's why I have no qualms with it at all, because I know how much time and sweat and late hours he put in the gym to get to where he is.
Reggie, reputations in the NBA develop pretty quickly, so it doesn't take long for the rest of the league to figure out if a guy can shoot or not. Once you become identified as a guy who can shoot and a guy that scouting reports mention and a guy who has to be keyed on, explain to the folks at home who haven't been in NBA games just how difficult it is to continue to get off shots night after night, let alone hit them.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think Brent and Dennis can definitely agree with me on this. I think our three-point shooting really set up the rest of our game because defenses had to play us, obviously, out to the arc. But it was really, you know, to me, my mid-range game that was probably, to me, more dangerous than my three-point shots. Yeah, I made a lot of big threes throughout my career, but it was the three-point shot that allowed me to maneuver, you know, inside the paint, post-up, mid-range game, and so forth. And I think that's what made Ray so dangerous. And look how he has evolved his game. I mean, he was the man in Milwaukee and Seattle. He comes to Boston, and really the focus is Paul Pierce is your closer, KG is your defensive stopper, and really Ray will run a couple plays for you here and there. He had to kind of change his game a little bit, but to me, he's been one of the most consistent players since the Big Three arrived in Boston, and it's because of his ability to stretch the floor, which allows Kendrick Perkins, Shaq this year, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce to operate. You need to have a guy that anytime you step on the floor, he's dangerous from knocking down threes.
Awfully gracious for a guy who's about to have his crown taken.
Taken, but look, I got the jewels in my pocket. He can have the crown.
Absolutely. Polish that thing off. Enjoy it while you have it.
I appreciate it, gentlemen.